Photomerge is an extremely useful tool in Photoshop. It's one of the automated features that you can use for combining photos to create a panoramic or combining scans to completely put together something that was larger than your scanner bed where you had to scan multiple scans to get it all done. So I have the pictures that were adjusted earlier with an action to get better color out of them. I'm going to take all of those and again open them in Photoshop. This Photomerge isn't really something you want to do with like 100 different files, and certainly not 100 different ginormous files, but a couple dozen fairly good sized JPEG images are good to go. Once you have them all opened, go to File, Automate. Now there's a bunch of different automated actions in here, but the one we'll look at right now is Photomerge. There's some different options. Now you may have observed as you take photos that there may be some distortion from either the camera or just from simply the way that you are taking the image, and you can look through these different types to see what works best for you. Typically I leave mine on auto. Next you need to choose the files that you're going to apply this to. One way is you can actually look up files or choose a whole folder full of files to do, but if you have them open already, just simply say Add Open Files. With just blend images together, I'm going to click OK and we'll see what happens. You'll notice on the right hand side of the screen all the images just very quickly were copied into one file, and now what it's doing is aligning those, so it's looking for information that's repeated from one photo to the next and doing everything in its power, meaning resizing, colorizing, tweaking, skewing, to get these bits of information to go all together. One of the other options was simply patching up. Now here is the final product, which is actually pretty incredible if you think about it. The final file size of this is huge. If I go up to Image and look at my canvas size, it's 119 inches by 44 inches, and that's probably 72 dpi because that's what those photos started out as. I can check that out under Image, Image Size. So yep, 72 dpi. The way this is all gone together is nothing's actually been merged together. The application has simply created masks and put things, overlapped items one with another. So if this all looks good and you don't really have a need to keep those masks, it's best just to flatten your file so that it's not as ginormous as it could possibly be. So I do that by going up to the drop down in the panel menu and choosing Flatten Image. Next you'll notice that there's obviously a weird shape here. Pretty much all you can do for that is either try a different Photomerge option, or once it's all together, grab your crop tool and create a crop that doesn't include any of the white area. So when I do this, mostly I look for the areas that I most want included. There is a person over here on the left that I definitely don't want their elbow in my picture, so I'm cropping that out. And there's something right there, so I'll crop that out. Now here's a tree here on the side. I can either crop this in and not include the tree, or I can extend this top and then fill in over here, but I think I'm going to just not include the tree. I'm going to leave this little bit of white area because I can use some of my tools to fill that in and have a little bit more sky in this picture. So I've used my crop tool, I've hit enter. Now I'm going to grab my move tool and see what I need to do to fill in that area. But ultimately you could just crop it down, but now I have this beautiful panoramic that is very color rich because I'd already color adjusted these photos. Photomerge will to some extent do some picture adjusting because it will try and get rid of any camera vignetting that you have in there, and it's a really powerful little tool. With scans, because those don't have any sort of distortion to them, it will very easily patch together multiple scans to create one image. It's a very useful tool. I would highly recommend trying it out a couple of times and seeing what it is capable of. I will warn you, however, if your files are too large or you have too many included, it will probably crash your Photoshop. So before doing a major photo merge, make sure that you've got any other files saved and safely taken care of.